Hi, I proudly bring to you a new format of videos where we will learn about a small poem. We discuss authors' intentions, meanings of difficult words and phrases, and develop our command over English language, all in a very limited time period. I'm confident these videos can prove a game changer for you. I was taught exactly the same manner at my school. Now, this is what I wanted to tell you about. This is something that I'm doing with a lot of heart for you, a lot of love for you. I really want you to show some love in the comment section of the video, because that will ensure that whatever I'm working on from so many hours of so many days has actually proved fruitful for you. Now, why have I left this section empty is because on the top we will have the lines of the poem, okay, highlighted so that you can read exactly what lines we are covering in the video, and then at the bottom you will have the meanings of the difficult words and phrases. I am very hopeful that this video helps you in building your confidence in English language. This is exactly how we were taught at my place, at my school. We laid a lot of stress on poetry. A lot of poems were covered in our course, and I feel that poems are a great way of learning the style of these English authors, how they would think, how they would put their thoughts into words, and they're also an amazing source of learning some extraordinary vocabulary. Subscribe for regular content like this and do press the bell icon so you always receive all the updates. Now let's get started with the poetry. This poem is about how human race is after money and power and have disconnected from Mother Nature. Let's get started. The world is too much with us, late and soon. Getting and spending, we lay waste our powers. Little we see in nature that is ours. We have given our hearts away, a sordid boon. The sea that bears her bosom to the moon, the winds that will be howling at all hours, and are gathered now like sleeping flowers. For this, for everything, we are out of tune. It moves us not. Great God, I'd rather be a pagan suckled in a creed outworn. So might I, standing on this pleasantly, have glimpses that would make me less forlorn, have sight of Proteus rising from the sea, or hear old Triton blow his reed horn. Today's title is The World is Too Much with Us. It is a sonnet by an English author, William Wordsworth. This poem criticizes the world for being absorbed in materialism and laments the fading connection between humankind and nature. So let's start with first four lines. First four lines go something like this. The world is too much with us, late and soon. Getting and spending, we lay waste our powers. Little we see in nature that is ours. We have given our hearts away, a sordid boon. What does this mean? The world is too much with us. This line means that we have become too concerned with worldly material things like money, possessions, and power. They are too much with us. What does that mean? We care about them too much. Okay, the phrase late and soon. Late and soon means that materialism had been a problem even in the past and will sadly continue in the future. He says we are using our time, our minds, our energy in getting and spending. Getting and spending what? We are spending our time, minds, energy in getting and spending more worldly possessions. We are tied up in our greed such that we spend ourselves in earning more, and then finally when you earn so much more, you're always trying to protect it. You're trying to protect and you're spending your time, your money, your energy in first earning it and then finally protecting it. Moving on. Little we see in nature that is ours. We have given our hearts away, a sordid boon. Poet says, very few things we see in nature actually belong to us, and where we should enjoy nature, though it is not ours to own. So we don't own the Mother Nature. We don't own it. It is not for us to own. But yes, we can enjoy it. We can enjoy the nature around us, which we are not doing right now. Instead, we are guided by greed all the time. He believes that we have given our hearts away in exchange for money and material wealth, and that being a sordid boon. What does that mean? Meaning something that looks like a blessing. So boon is a blessing, something that looks like a blessing but is not actually a blessing. So I'll complete the sentence. Meaning something that looks like a blessing, something that looks like something that is nice, but it has come out of dishonorable ways. Moving to the next set of lines. The sea that bears her bosom to the moon, the winds that will be howling at all hours, and are upgathered now like sleeping flowers. For this, for everything, we are out of tune. It moves us not. Great God, I'd rather be a pagan suckled in a creed outworn. So let's get started with these lines and understand what the poet wants to say here. The poet describes the beauties of nature using personification as a means to establish a connect between the reader and the poem. So between you and the poem. Personification, we'll get to what personification is. It's a very common tactic that is often used by authors. Personification means giving human qualities to a non-human thing, like the winds howling. So winds are howling. Howling is something that is done by animals, or sometimes in some cases by human beings. Howling is shouting at the top of your voice. So winds howling means that winds are shouting, they're screaming, they're loud. Coming back. The sea that bears her bosom to the moon suggests an intimacy between the moon and the sea. The winds howl mean they are strong and can be heard loud. It paints a picture of nature. So poet is trying to paint a picture in front of you, trying to make you see a beautiful scene of nature. Okay, and through that he's trying to convey a message that we don't see these beauties very often. We are so absorbed in our lives that we do not pay a lot of attention to how much beauty is scattered all around us. So getting back to where we were, it paints a picture of nature and helps the reader understand what he's missing out on. Getting to the next set of lines. For this, for everything, we are out of tune. For this, the things that he just mentioned, winds howling and stuff, moon and sea, for this and for everything, we are out of tune. It moves us not. These words imply poet's awareness that we are not in tune with nature because we are so caught up in worldly wealth and desires. Nature कुछ गा रहा है, आप अपना कुछ गा रहे हो, tune नहीं बैठ रही. Moves us not. It means it doesn't affect us. Doesn't give rise to emotions. Moving on. Great God, I'd rather be a pagan suckled in a creed outworn. Poet calls out to God. So he is talking to God in these lines. Poet calls out to God that he'd rather be a pagan than be out of touch with nature. Now, who is a pagan? Pagan is somebody who does not follow any mainstream religion of the world. So there are a few religions that we all know about. A pagan is a person who does not follow or conform to any of those religions. He is a person who celebrates nature and comes from some ancient times having a religion of his own. Okay? Moving on to the last set of lines from the poetry. So might I, standing on this pleasantly, have glimpses that would make me less forlorn, have sight of Proteus rising from the sea, or hear old Triton blow his reed horn. Before we start, I want you to know Proteus and Triton are both considered pagan gods. I just told you about pagan, right? That pagan is, we'll talk about pagans more. So pagan is some old religion. These are people who do not conform to any new world religions, okay? Now, poet here has brought up two names, Proteus and Triton, and these are two, they are considered pagan gods. So pagans would worship these two gods, Triton and Proteus. We don't need details here. Now you'd wonder, ye naam kyun hai? Well, this is how poetry is. Random references, inspirations and all. This adds to the beauty of a poem, but you don't need to confuse yourself. Just grab the idea and move on, okay? So might I, standing on this pleasant lea, have glimpses that would make me less forlorn. Author stresses, if he were a poor pagan, agar wo ek pagan hota, he would stand on this land. Lea is a piece of grassy land, okay? It's a type of land, and would have glimpses of nature. So he would stand on this piece of land and he would just stare at Mother Nature, okay? That is what he is trying to picture here. He would have glimpses of nature, he would feel the nature and be happy and be less forlorn, okay? Forlorn would mean lonely and sad. So less forlorn means when he'll stare at Mother Nature, he will feel less lonely and less sad. Okay. Then he refers to pagan gods, Proteus and Triton, as I said, and says he'd stare long enough at the sea. He's going to stare at the sea to see Proteus rising from the sea and Triton blow his horn. Now let me tell you something here. The idea behind these lines as I construe, so everybody can have their own imagination behind poetry. Now this is my idea, that when you stare too long at nature or at a valley of mountains, there's this hallucination kind of a thing, that something is emerging from there. Something big is coming out of that place, right? So that is the idea that is explained here, that if he'll stare long at the sea, he will see Proteus, the pagan god, rising from the sea, okay? Then he would probably hear Triton blow his horn, okay? That is the idea that he's expressing here. Proteus was the protector of the seas in Greek mythology, and Triton was the pagan god that was said to be able to calm the waves of sea. Okay, so these were the two gods, and these are the references poet just used. So we've come to the end of the poem. I hope you learned some beautiful words. You're going to add these to your vocabulary, practice them so that they stay longer with you. As I said, practice, you remember. You don't practice, the words become ancient and you forget. So try and practice these words. Go through this video all over again if you feel like, because that is obviously going to make even more sense. You will understand the poetry even better. For now, you may have this idea कि हाँ ठीक है समझ आ गया. I like the idea. I love the poem. Understood or maybe not understood. Just go through it all over again. Maybe speed up the video. Watch the video all over again, and you will understand it from a better perspective. You will already see an improvement happening in you. So that was the entire idea of shooting this video for you. I am very happy that I did this because it was very challenging. I just wanted to do it. I just really felt like doing it for you because this was challenging, and anything that challenges you makes it fun for you. So that is it, guys. I'll see you soon again. Let me know in the comments if you enjoyed the idea, if you liked the way I taught you today. This is exactly how our teachers used to teach us. So I'm just trying to copy from them. This is not my own. Yeah, in a way it is my own because I'm the person speaking, I'm the person explaining in my own way. Yes, this was something that helped us a lot learning English when we were kids. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for being patient and observant for so long. I'll see you again soon. You take care of yourself.